Hello there, this is Big Mac I-82 bringing you some Call of Duty gameplay of Black Ops Cold War and Modern Warfare. I only played a couple of games and I found these two games to be the best of what I recorded. So yeah, I kind of just want to talk about Call of Duty Vanguard and what we've seen so far in the trailers and the gameplay alpha that was for PlayStation this weekend. Um, my thoughts on it being a World War II game are kind of mixed. For campaign, I think if they do it correctly with how many stories that they want to tell, if they do it correctly with the perfect length, I think it can be a really good campaign. As for multiplayer side, I mean, it is completely up to them. Of course, everyone's going to be very picky about multiplayer since it's World War II game, and people want them to be very in line with World War II. They want them to be very authentic and close to real as possible. But in the end of the day, it's a Call of Duty multiplayer game, and you need to make it fun. You don't want to have another Call of Duty World War II situation where the first 6 months of the game's cycle is just ruined because of how bad the division system was and how like unbalanced some of the divisions were. Everyone would just run the mountain division because it was just, you got Ghost for free and you got Dead Silence for free, and what's the point of using the airborne division? Oh wow, I'll get a silencer for my PPSH, wow, so cool. Or when you play the infantry division, wow, I get an extra attachment, which it can be good in sometimes, but the way World War II was designed back in 2017, it did not work well with the game, and that's why I feel like it died the quickest. Now people will say Infinite Warfare died the quickest. To be honest, that game was dead before it even launched, but I actually really like Infinite Warfare. But back to the setting and it being World War II, I want them to make the game fun because this past year, Cold War, the last time I played Cold War before today was probably 2 months ago, at least multiplayer side of things. Zombies, I played it when the new map came out. That's about it. Multiplayer side is just, the multiplayer is just very lackluster, and I do have DM Ultra in the game. It was a fun grind to shoot for, but I played Nuketown 24/7 half the time, and I didn't really play all the other maps because all the other maps are meh. The same situation happened with Modern Warfare. I did not get Damascus in Modern Warfare, but my life stood in Shoot House and Shipment for the entire game's life cycle. At least whenever they would have it in rotation, I would just stop playing Modern Warfare when they took out Shoot House and Shipment. I wouldn't touch the game, but once they added them back in, I would play the game again and grind a couple weapons. And I was pretty close to Damascus, but I did not want to deal with the pistols or the launchers or the knife. But I did for Cold War because I was like, you know what, I like this engine that Cold War is on. I don't know why. I know it's a very stiff engine. I know it's very, very restricted compared to Modern Warfare and now the Vanguard engine. But I really like this engine, and that's why I was like, I'm gonna shoot for DM Ultra. But after I got DM Ultra, there was just nothing, no reason for me to keep playing this game, in my opinion. Obviously I could have went for Dark Ether, but the zombies to me was just, I was still going back and playing Black Ops 3 zombies, Black Ops 2 zombies, Black Ops 1 zombies, World at War zombies. I didn't want to play Cold War zombies. Not that the zombies is bad in this game, but it's just I don't know. There's just something very weird that and unexplainable that makes me not want to play Cold War zombies, and I just have no idea why. But I digress. I'm glad that Vanguard is on the Modern Warfare engine, because objectively it is the better engine. Um, and not that I didn't like the Modern Warfare engine. I do prefer this old stiff movement for some reason. It's not even that I even grew up playing all the old Call of Duties. Granted, I remember playing some, but I was so bad at Call of Duty back then that the only time I was into like Call of Duty Online or like Call of Duty like MP wise was BO3, and everyone hates BO3. So I'm not really inclined with all the other Modern Warfare, or sorry, my bad. I'm not really inclined with all the past Call of Duties and how good they were. Like, yeah, Modern Warfare 2 and World at War and Modern Warfare 3, I was around for those times, but I don't remember anything. And if anything I do remember, I was just really bad at the game. But I know the engines always stayed the same. That's why people always felt like Call of Duty felt the same every single year, because the gunplay and the movement and just the feel of the game was very similar every year after year. And that's why Modern Warfare, when Modern Warfare 2019 came out, it was a breath of fresh air, because the movement was revised, the gunplay was revised, the whole gunsmith thing, like everything was revised and better, and people liked it that way. And I liked it that way too. But I don't know, something about the engine just it didn't rub me the right way. But obviously that they're going with this new engine, I hope that they can make a kick-ass World War II game. I think the part of the reason why World War II failed as well is because the engine was just not very good for the game. And I am excited that this new World War II game is going to be on the Modern Warfare engine, and I hope it's good. And obviously, when they transition all the guns from World War II or from Vanguard into Warzone, it's going to be a lot more smoother than Cold War was. I mean, we all remember DMR Zone and the AUG and the M16, and even now a couple of the weapons, like when the MG82 first came out, that thing was a laser beam. The Krig right now is very dominant. Same thing with the C58. It's a very dominant weapon. Obviously, you can still use the Grau and the M4, but I have not seen a Modern Warfare SMG in Warzone in forever. Everyone's been using the MAC-10. Right now, everyone's using this OTS SMG, which is a very good SMG. I can't lie. It's so fun to use. But I just hope that they just make the game good and fun. Cause yeah, people want it to be authentic and real to the time, but like I said before, at the end of the day, it's a Call of Duty game. You can't expect realism out of a Call of Duty game. If you want realism, you have, you want a realistic, at least World War II shooter, you have, I think, Hell Let Loose. That's the only one I know right now, just Hell Let Loose. I was gonna say Verdun, but Verdun is a World War I game. But they have to make it fun. They have to make it balanced, or even imbalanced. I mean, everyone loves Modern Warfare 2, but in my opinion, Modern Warfare 2 was so broken. It was a very broken game. It was a very unbalanced game, but people love that game. People love it to death. So, if they want to make it unbalanced, sure, but today's age of gaming, people want things balanced. So they have to make it balanced yet fun. They have to make it colorful, because most World War II games you play, that they're very gray, they're very brown, it's very dark, and obviously it's because of the time period. But if there's no color, if there's no pop, if there's nothing to it, then the game is gonna die very quickly, because people don't want to be sad and depressed playing a World War II game because the atmosphere is gray and dark and brown. Like, yeah, you can do that for you can do that for the campaign, but it's the campaign. The campaign is supposed to be dark, it's supposed to be gritty. Multiplayer is supposed to be fun. People go there to shit on other people, like, you're not there to be in the trenches of war or something. Like, I think that's something that Battlefield did correctly with Battlefield 1, is that they still found a way to make the game very fun and engaging for it being a World War I game. It's a World War I game. What can you expect out of World War One. And you know, World War One was a very dark time, not as dark as World War Two, but still pretty dark. You know, trenches, artillery, mud, barbed wire, you know, no man's land, gas, you know, mustard gas, and a lot of ugly things. Yet DICE somehow found a way to make Battlefield 1 a very pop game, a very like, you know, eye-catching game compared to Call of Duty World War II, which was very brown, very gray, no color at all. So that's what I'm hoping that Vanguard does. You know, Sledgehammer here, I mean, they had a first strike with Advanced Warfare. The Advanced Warfare was fun for the first 3 to 6 months, but people got really tired of the movement and the maps. So Advanced Warfare was their first strike, and obviously World War II, easy second strike. I mean, the World War II didn't last very long. But now with like a new studio head, and you know, with new members, new developers, I hope that the game is fun. I hope they don't strike out here, because this is really Sledgehammer's last chance to really prove to the community that they can make a good game. I mean, like, they're the most recent company. They're the youngest company, you know, besides Raven. And obviously I know Sledgehammer has helped with Call of Duty since NW3. Same thing with Raven. They've been helping with Call of Duty since NW3 or NW2, because maybe back then it was a yearly thing. Or as in, like, Treyarch and Infinity War had to switch off yearly. That's why COD 4 and World at War were very similar games. They were the same thing. Same thing with Modern Warfare 2 and NW3. I mean, obviously the whole Infinity War thing with NW2 and then moving to NW3, it's just a reskin of NW2, really. I mean, you can literally see some of the same assets were the same between both games. So I'm just hoping with Vanguard, Sledgehammer finds a way to just make it a good game, that they hopefully learn from World War II and Advanced Warfare, and just make it a fun game. Make it fun, make it exciting, make it fresh. I mean, granted, they've done World War II so many times now, people get old of it, but there's still something there. You can still work with something. You don't have to surprise everyone in the community, but as long as your game is alive and fresh. The fact that Modern Warfare 2019, I feel like, is more alive than Cold War means that you failed. Treyarch has failed to make Cold War successful. They have failed to keep it in the runnings. I feel like that's why no one really cares about this next game. I mean, granted, like I said before, it's World War II, that's why no one cares. It's a Sledgehammer Games, that's why no one cares. But, I mean, if you don't mess up like Treyarch did, then I think there is something there that the community will have. And obviously with Warzone getting these old weapons, I should say, I mean, obviously it's going to be, you know, fresh and exciting. You know, how are the weapons going to play out with the modern weapons? How is an SCG going to do against an M4, against a Krig, against a C58? How is the Thompson and the MP40 going to do against the Mac 11, against the OTS, against the MP5? How is the Mosin and Kant going to do against the Car 98 or the Swiss? You know, or how is the two Car 98s going to be different from each other? You know, because obviously you have a Cold War AK and then you have a Modern Warfare AK. You have a Cold War MP5, you have a Modern Warfare MP5. How are, maybe, you know, if they do like a World War or a Vanguard Car 98 and then a Modern Warfare Car 98, how are the two going to be different? Is one going to be faster? One going to be heavy hitting? Like, what are they going to do? So that's kind of what I have in my head right now. I mean, these are just, I have no script, kind of talking out of my ass. I just hope this next game is fun. You know, it was refreshing to go back and play Cold War, Modern Warfare. You know, I had a fun time with it. Obviously not very long, since skill-based matchmaking did kick in, but I I had a fun time. I had a really fun time playing these two multiplayers after not playing them. And I mean, at least for Cold War, I haven't played the multiplayer in like 3 months. For Modern Warfare, I haven't played since Cold War released, and even before that, I have not played Modern Warfare in a very long time. Obviously, besides Warzone, but the MP side of things, it was weird, but it was also really refreshing. And with the game modes I was playing, I said, you know what, I'm gonna play the regular maps. I'm not gonna just play Shipment and Shoot House. And I'm gonna play the regular maps, even though they're really bad. I had a fun time. I forgot how really bad the Modern Warfare MP is sometimes. Like the spawning in the game is very, very just bad. But I had a fun time. It was fun talking. Hope you guys like and subscribe and comment. Next video coming out soon. Peace. Hope you guys enjoyed.